I cannot believe it's been a year now since Awareness Put Me On came out and quickly became an Amazon best-selling book. So when I thought about the book and kind of the anniversary of it coming out, I realized that we talked a lot about these moments, these aha moments, these moments where you have the choice, do you keep going on the same trajectory? Is there something that you change, and just what that realization looks like and what the other side can possibly provide for you. But I feel like I didn't talk enough about what it actually feels like to go through it, right? The fear, the uncertainty, the discomfort, all of that comes with deciding to make a change, having these awareness moments and allowing it to put you on to something new. So, hi, I am so excited to be here with you guys this Wednesday. Shanice Upshur, the corporate escapee, and today we are leaning into just that. We're talking about awareness, but better yet, what does it look like to lean into that awareness and to allow it to create meaningful, transformative change for you in your life? So, the first thing, when you have these moments, the first thing that I've always done in the past is really pause and reflect. And for me, that's really just sitting with all of these new ideas, these thought processes, maybe these new revelations, even that I've been presented with. So, some people like to journal, some people like to, chat with a friend about it. For some reason, I really like to voice record. So, a lot of times I'll just pull out my phone and kind of voice record what is it that I'm thinking about? What am I feeling? What are all the things that are going through my mind in these moments? And sometimes it may seem like I'm rambling, but when I go back and listen to it, a lot of times I'll even pull out things that I didn't even realize I was thinking in that moment. So for me, pausing and reflecting has always been a really big part of allowing that awareness process to begin. So, when you think about that, figure out what works for you. Again, everybody will probably have something a little bit different in what that looks like, but don't have that moment and then rush to figure out what's next. Take a moment, be present in that moment, and really, allow yourself to feel in that moment. There's more than likely going to be a lot of newness. Again, maybe a little bit discomfort that comes up in these moments of awareness. So allow yourself to really sit with everything that you're feeling, that you're recognizing, and that you're kind of participating in the moment. The next thing that I do when these moments occur is to ask myself powerful questions. Now, this can take a couple of different forms. They may be me asking questions of myself. This may be me, sharing what I'm feeling and thinking and what has just occurred with a friend or a mentor. This may be even working with a professional coach. I had the pleasure when I was working through some really big moments of awareness for myself. I actually got to work with a professional coach for a year, and we went every single week. We got a chance to talk and just go through all the things that were occurring, and she really helped me get through a lot of the amazing transformations that I was seeing and recognizing and starting to realize about myself. And one of the things that I really enjoyed were the questions that she asked me, because it allowed me to look at the situation maybe from a different perspective that I didn't even think about. You guys have probably heard the story of, and I'm afraid I'm going to butcher it, but there's this story out there that talks about, if you ask three blind men to come up and kind of touch an elephant, how would they describe it, right? And there's somebody who's touching the trunk and describes it one way, another person who's touching the leg and describes it another way, and I think someone else like touches the ear, I don't remember what the third one is, and describes it a different way, but they're all right, they just have a different perspective. So a lot of times asking yourself powerful questions, whether that's you asking the questions, someone else, a professional asking you these powerful questions, allows you to see the situation from a different perspective, which provides, at least for me, a level of clarity that I tend to not have if I completely miss this step. So you may be asking yourself, what do those questions look like? They can be things like, what is this moment teaching me, right? Just allowing yourself to sit with what you're learning from the situation, not, what's crazy or what's going bad or, what's occurring here, but just what am I learning in this moment? How do I feel called to change or explore, right? Are there things that you want to ask about and have questions about How does this align with my values and goals? So things along that, and there's tons more that can be used. But questions that really push you to think outside of the boundaries, outside of the box, maybe from a different perspective, are really key when you have these moments of awareness. The next thing that I like to do whenever I have these moments is to take small, aligned actions. Now, and I say that because when we have these moments, sometimes it feels like there's 90,000 things that you need to do to kind of actualize that moment of awareness that you had. And breaking it down tends to be the best possible thing. So I went through a period where I really enjoyed, I still do, 100% enjoyed coaching, but the way that I was kind of doing coaching and the way that my organization was doing coaching was almost more from the perspective of like a teacher or a mentor, where it was more, you show somebody else how to do something. And I went and I got my master's in professional coaching. And the way that they look at coaching from the International Coaching Federation is this whole idea of a coach is somebody who just asks you really powerful questions so that you have these moments of clarity yourself. And I remember just being like, oh my goodness, like we have to change everything, everything that we're doing has to change. And I was actually managing a group of coaches at my job at the moment. Like I have to change my curriculum that I work with the coaches on. I have to change my hiring processes. I have to, I'm looking at the huge picture and thinking about everything that has to change in order to kind of realign to this new idea of coaching. And when I looked at this giant project in front of me, it got a little bit overwhelming. And so what I did was break it up into small parts. Okay, what's one thing that I can do this week to get us more aligned to these new ideas? What's the second thing that I can do? And I really took it piece by piece and was able to take that huge giant project that I felt I was running up into something small, something actionable, something that kept me from being overwhelmed on a daily basis. So you'll probably run into those exact same moments. You'll have these moments when you're like, oh my goodness, everything needs to change. Don't try to change the world in 24 hours. Figure out what's one thing you can do today or week and just build on that. Right? The way you climb a mountain, one step at a time, all of those kind of mantras, allow them to stay present in your life. Don't feel that you're behind the 8 ball if you don't make all of the changes in a day or a week. Allow yourself that grace to understand it is a journey. It's not, at least for most of us, it's not going to be an overnight journey, and allow yourself to just trust the process, lean into the process, and enjoy the process because you know that there's going to be an amazing finished product on the other side. And I've already kind of said it a couple of times, but when I think about this, the fourth thing is to embrace discomfort. Now, maybe you are a glutton for punishment. You enjoy change. You enjoy things being turned, topsy-turvy all the time. That is not me. That is not the space that I live in. I very much so find myself as someone who's a creature of habit. I go to a restaurant, I only get, I try one thing, I like it, and I never try anything else. So I'm very much a creature of habit. I don't like for things to change. But one of the things that I've realized is that embracing discomfort, pushing into these moments where you feel a little bit outside of your element is the only place that growth occurs. Not one of, or not the best place, but really, truly, at least for me, the only place that growth occurs. So instead of looking at these moments of discomfort as shying away from them, trying to, get back to the status quo as possible, one of the things that I've really had to challenge myself in order to have these amazing moments is to not only push into it, but into embrace it. And when I embrace it, what I mean by that is understanding the purpose of it, right? So it's not just discomfort for discomfort's sake. It's not discomfort because there's nothing else going on. It's discomfort because I enjoy growing. I enjoy challenging myself. I enjoy putting forward, the best version of myself possible. So I encourage all of you guys, if you're in these seasons where there's more discomfort than you would like, lean into that, embrace that, and hold on to what that future you can do, will be like, the experiences that you'll have, because you persevered and pushed forward in this moment. And then the last thing around this is don't be afraid to seek support and accountability. It's a lot, right? Like I hate to use the word, but it can be a painful process. A lot of change that occurs. I mentioned getting to work with an executive coach for over a year. I feel like probably a third, if not half, of those meetings that we had, there were tears, right? There were tears because there were a lot of things that I realized that I had to change that I didn't want to, or maybe I didn't know how to, or it was difficult, or maybe I knew it would create, difficult conversations with other people and I was shying away from even that. But having support is huge. So whether that's a friend, a mentor, my coach provided a lot of support during that process for me. Don't be afraid to lean into that. Have those people around you who'll give you those thumbs up, who'll cheer you on, who really will be your, those rock solid cheerleaders when you need it. I can't tell you how many times I would have a day when I was just like, enough, like I can't push anymore. Like this is, I don't have anything else to give to my growth journey. And, a friend or two who didn't even know what was going on would give me a call and really just drop, some positive words, some wisdom, some encouragement. And that really helped propel me. So don't forget about that support system, lean into them. And then from that accountability perspective, don't be afraid to share with others what your journey is. So, I think when I reflect back on everything that was going on, as far as what went into the book Awareness Put Me On, there were so many moments where I would call up my best friend and be like, hey, I just got off the call with my coach and I realized this, and this. And, I'm going to have some tough conversations. And she's like, all right, well, when are you going to have them? And I'd be like, and she would hold me to a date, to a time to make sure that the things and the work that I needed to do got done. So it can be tough conversations. It can be implementing new schedules. It can be new processes that you're implementing. And again, this can be work or, in the personal perspective as well. Have those accountability people. Don't be afraid to say what your goals are, the things that you're doing, the things that you're working on out loud, so that these individuals can not only hold you accountable, but again, be your cheerleaders when things get tough and when you feel like, maybe stopping is a good idea, because it isn't. So again, the 5 things that I've used on my own personal awareness journey: pausing and reflecting, asking powerful questions, taking small aligned steps, embracing the discomfort, and seeking support and accountability. You may have others. If so, please share them with me. I would love to know what they are. But I'm so excited for all of you guys on your own journeys of awareness. If you haven't checked out the book, go ahead and do so. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you later.